comment on Illinois State?
Yeah. Illinois State 4-1, big win over an FBS school. It's a good football team on the road. We've had it's always a tough battle, and we're, looking forward to another opportunity to finish a game with a win. So we get another opportunity at that. Looking forward to another week of preparation and keep looking through the details on what's going to get us over that hump. And it's another tough opponent, and that creates new problems and new things that we got to prepare for. So nothing about the process will change. We just gotta stay committed. Some new players have to step up. Obviously, we're a little banged up in different areas. Jeremy will be out the first half with this targeting call, and then we'll see where we're at on some of the other injuries. So looking forward to it. We've all got to stay together. I thought we had a good day yesterday on Sunday. Like I said, those 24 hours after the game, you get a little time to have whatever your feelings are, but then you got to get right back to work, and we got out on the field, and they got a good lift in, and we got going on the game plan. So looking forward to getting back out there.
Did you appeal Chin's targeting, and did you hear back if you did?
Yeah, I did. We send in plays every week, and I talked to Bill Crollo, the head of officiating for the Big Ten in our conference, and he agrees, Jeremy. It's just a tough rule. I'm not for sure what I can say or not say. He agrees. Jeremy does everything that he possibly could be taught to do. In my opinion, it's a bad rule to punish a kid, have to sit out a half whenever he's. It's just a tough deal. He keeps his head out of it. What the game's trying to get to protect. Keeping the head. The rule says, any forcible contact of the head or neck area, and it just naturally happened that he was diving. Jeremy's in the middle of the field, tries to kind of turn away from it. It kind of looked though he got hit in the neck, and so that's the rule, and he'll be have to sit out the first half.
So he can't change that. Corello can't change that.
No, he said that at the NCAA thing. I don't know. I just got done talking with them. Said I'll sit out.
But is the reverse true? If they see targeting later, can't they? If they see targeting that wasn't called, they
yeah, we sent in a couple of those in too. They agreed. They upheld it. They threw the flags. They reviewed it. They upheld the targeting call, and it was, by definition, you'll look at that and say that they're, which you could probably say on a lot of, the head or neck area, shoulder pads and up. So we sent in a couple plays that we felt like were a lot similar, so we'll see what they say about that.
So the targeting is if you touch the shoulder pads or neck area with your helmet or with anything?
With anything, forearm.
How about grabbing a guy on his shoulder pads?
Well, that'd be more horse collaring. So anytime there's a collision and you use forcible contact to the head or neck area, it's considered by definition targeting. So, and we've got to move on from it. We've got to. It's Monday, happened, and Jeremy will be ready to go in the second half.
Was Straub able to get out there yesterday?
Yeah, Straub was out there yesterday. Has been cleared to be full go, and lifted and ran and did everything. So he'll be out there full go tomorrow at practice.
Are you going to start it?
Yeah, both guys will have. We got to see how practice goes. Both guys will have roles in the game plan for sure.
And do you think you'll get Marnin and Dye back this week as well?
Ernest had a 0 today on the symptom score. He rides a bike this afternoon. So it's one of those things, concussion protocol. He was pretty low yesterday. He came in and was like out of 10, whereas, sometimes in those symptom scores, like Keontae Stallworth is in the concussion protocol as well. He was at a 65, I think. So Ernest was at a 10 and got to 0 today. So could have Ernest in a couple practices and look for him to play. Marnin, MCL strain. If anybody will play, Mormon will play. You know, he's about as tough a kid as you'll find. So if he can get out there, you know, and deal with the pain, and they feel comfortable putting him out there, he'll be out there. But so I wouldn't count out Marnin.
Do you have more injuries than you should, Coach, or was it just bad luck, or?
Yeah, I don't know
How
if
do you look
if
at
you could. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, in football, you know, I'd say a little bit of bad luck. I mean, our strength staff does as good a job as any as far as training them for soft tissue injuries. You know, we've had a few concussions. You know,
It just feels like you have more.
yeah, well, we definitely have a lot. I mean, some teams will go through seasons and have a lot of injuries. We have a lot of injuries right now, but I don't think that's anything that we could prevent as far as the weight room or anything like that. Those are all the things that you look at and you do, and some of them are, you know, meniscus here and there. I don't think is anything that you could possibly do, you know, or you know, Marnin's knee playing in the interior line and you know, hasn't missed a snap in his whole career. So those are just tough breaks.
I hate to continue this MASH unit questioning, but how about Kilby?
Yeah, Kilby, his soft tissue injury will have to be, you know, it's a hamstring. Just have to see how he progresses. You know, he's you know, obviously he was in a lot of pain, and so sometimes those things linger
Bruised
on.
muscle, in other words.
Yeah. So he pulled a muscle. And so we'll just have to see with that. Those things got to kind of linger on. This is their day off, so we'll see how he responds when we get out there this week.
And James Caesar, I thought he practiced last week, but he
No,
didn't play
James
the
is
game.
out for the season. James will have surgery this week, and will be out for the season.
Any idea what Illinois State will do? Will they go with which quarterback they will? They were switching quarterbacks every so often. Any idea what they're going to do?
No, I think that it'll be the Brady Davis. You know, they put in the Colby, who played a lot of football for him in the Missouri State game, but Davis took all the snaps last week, and besides that one time putting in Colby, you know, he's taken the majority of the reps.
You know, why do you think he hasn't been intercepted this year, Davis?
Well, I think it says a lot about him, the decision making, the way. I mean, the key to the game is 25. I mean, he's a heck of a back. Might be the best in our league. We got a lot of good ones in this league. He's a heck of a back. He really is. Both of them are, and they a lot of play action pass. There's been, you know, a lot of games where they put the ball on his shoulders, and that's kind of who they want to be. So, but Brady's got a really strong arm, can make all the throws. Got a lot of tight ends, have a big, you know, a good tight end, and they just play good, you know, old-fashioned winning football. They're going to do a lot of different things on offense, being a lot of different personnel similar to us. Some different schemes, and they want to run the football, and they always do a good job on defense.
So one of the keys to stopping the play action is stopping the run.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, you got to stop the run if you're giving up, you know, a bunch of yards running the football on the road, and that's what they want to do. Then it'll be a long day.
Did you see stuff from your defense Saturday night that you needed to see?
Yeah, I think our defense. I said that. I thought that they played well. I mean, they you know, pressured the quarterback, pressured in him some bad decisions, got turnovers, took points off the board there at the end of the half. I thought that their energy, and they attacked. You know, they stayed on the attack. Didn't give up the real big play in the end zone, and then. You know, like I said, we've talked about the last play. We got to move on from that too, because, you know, and I think that everybody agrees that wasn't pass interference. Could have been it, but that have been 3 turnovers. You know, but you know I thought we got to keep getting better though. They got goal line stop, even making them earn it there at the end. So we, you know, our depth's being tested. You know, at linebacker. Bryce and Giegling played every single rep, 91 reps. And then, that's the thing about Bryce Notary. I mean, he was on the field for 101 snaps. He took over 10 special teams reps, 91 snaps on defense. Giegling didn't come off the field. Madre Harper didn't come off the field and played 12 snaps on special teams. So a lot of guys that are just giving tremendous effort, playing hard, and they got to continue to do that.
The only video I saw was your coach's show, but it looks like your young linebackers are beginning to figure some things out.
Yeah, Giegling's a heck of a player. He's got a bright future. He's physical. He's really smart. He finds himself. He had a couple, out of those 91 plays, I think maybe 2 that he'd like to have back. One pass coverage thing got kind of mixed up. And then Notary just plays with a lot of emotion and energy, and he's physical and is doing a good job getting everybody lined up. Aaron Reed, I thought, had his best game of his career probably. Just playing with the athleticism and speed that he has. He's an athletic kid that can cover in the slot. He's a safety hybrid type guy. And then, had an interception, had a sack, had a big goal line stand there. We had a solo tackle on the goal line. Played well.
There was a Big Ten school that won this weekend that had a DB sent for targeting or whatever. And I think I read, but you read so much, by the end of the game, the 4 DBs that were on the field weren't playing at the beginning of the season. I think you can speak to that, right?
Yeah, and all the guys that I've started or will be out there, starting this week weren't our starters, at the beginning of the year. But I always say that. I mean, you'd like to go through the season, healthy as can be, and we'll get Quay Brown was back in practice last night and was in on team reps, and so we'll see where we're at with him as the week goes and see how his knee feels. He's been looking good last week. He was cleared to run and sprint and everything, and then he was in practice last night. So we'll look forward to getting Quay back. He'll probably be in a limited role this week, but then he's close to being full go.
With your usual strong safety gone, will you move Quay around to a different safety, or will you play the same safety position?
Yeah, he'll come back and play, at his same spot. It'll be good just to have some depth back there. Joe Patterson will play, which he played the entire second half there when Jeremy went out, and then Mike Elbert, and then we get Quay. So we just gotta.
Did you like what you saw out of Patterson? He played a lot.
I thought he did a good job. Came in and made some plays, and then made that play there at the end. But Joe's been doing a great job. He's a guy that walked on the team and played wide receiver early in his career. We moved him over there, and he's found a good spot there at safety.
Their offensive line is bigger than most. Do they play just a lot of straight power football, or will they run those guys around a lot? A little bit of. They'll come downhill at you for sure and just run, power, and they'll run outside zone. They'll run several different schemes. Yeah, they're big. The one's really big, and the both guys on the edges are big. The Illinois transfer plays at guard. The centers played a lot of games, so it's it's a good offensive line. They always have had good offensive lines, a staple of their program. So we got a tough matchup. They're 4-1 and do a good job in all 3 phases.
I record your coach's show, and after the quarterback, the concussion and all that, I went back and looked, and I guess you ran Wildcat the last couple of plays the previous week, but before then, 4 went all the way to the end. Was he playing while he was foggy?
Yeah, well, he didn't have any symptoms or say anything until the next day. So it was you could probably see the play that had happened, the play that he fumbled on, but our doctors are right there and everybody, and he didn't have the symptoms of questioning whether he had a concussion. And then the next day when he came in for injury check, had some, and then he got into the concussion protocol.
Nick, you're in a week-to-week line of work. Yeah. But big picture, is this a crossroads of the season for your group this week? Week 6?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I've said this before. I mean, 1-4 is not where we expected to be, want to be, or our fans and program. They deserve to see better, and so we need to finish the season strong, and that's what I expect to do. But I do know that we've got a group of coaches that are good men that come in here and prepare their butts off and give everything to those kids and are doing everything in their power to do their best job. And we got a group of guys that not once has there been a lack of effort or a lack of discipline or anything like that. They come in and are giving us their best. We got to do a better job. It starts and ends with me, and I take that responsibility. I mean, 1-4 is not where we want to be. We got to finish this season strong. We got to show improvement. We've had the lead in every single game, 5 games at halftime, and we've got to find a way to finish. I've said that. It's easy to get up there and say that, and hey, we have to do this, we have to do that, but we've got to really look into the details, and nobody wants to keep hearing that we're close. I mean, we are close. We have a good football team. I think anybody that would watch us or coaches that prepare understand that we have good players and do some good things, but close isn't good enough, and nobody needs a pat on the back, or there's definitely no moral victories. We're 1-4, and we've got to get better, and that's what I expect us to do here down the stretch.
You've talked about possibly exploring playing someone else as a punt returner. Are you still looking at that harder?
Yeah.
Or
Jaquan Burton would go back there. We probably he needs an opportunity to get the ball in his hands. He's an explosive player. It was one of those things, DJ. We weren't up there a bunch in reps, as far as his fatigue or anything like that. So. But yeah, you could see Jaquan getting back there at punt returner and kick returner.
I'm sure you're going to have a long career, but you're going to go in the future. You need like 3 quarterbacks that are ready to play, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can never have too many quarterbacks.
Future.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be. We're not the only team that's had to play with backup quarterbacks, and some teams find a way to win and get better, and so. That's what you got to. You got to coach your whole roster. I mean, all 100 guys. I say that all the time, and everybody's got to take that upon themselves as a player, and us as coaches. You always got to be coaching your depth and looking ahead and developing people. And but quarterbacks is an important piece. Obviously, when you're playing really well at that position, good things are usually happening.
I'm just listening on the radio, but Reese says that there was a player or two that. From the quarterback position that could have been made?
In that Youngstown?
Yeah.
That's probably every single game. I've never went through a game that a quarterback hasn't said, man, I'd like to have that throwback, or wish I could have this one. And I'm like you, I read a lot and watch a lot, study a lot, and you watch Tom Brady come to the podium and say, I'd like to have, those 5 or 6 throws back, or whatever it is, or you're watching film and, we were watching West Virginia because they played, Youngstown, and whatever his name, Will Greer's up for the Heisman, made 2 really poor decisions, threw picks against Youngstown, just bad decisions, So every quarterback's got those that you wish you could have back. I thought Matt did a great job of doing what we asked him to do in that football game. He had a couple throws down the field that we wish that we could have had or connected on. We had landed on a post in the red zone that we ended up not scoring on that drive, and then we called a double move to Dylan Conway. If he just waits his tick, he's got some time. All he's got to do is put it out there, and it would have been a long touchdown. But we didn't. What I'm proud of Matt is he took care of the football. He picked up first downs with his feet, like we know that he can do. He's a competitor and made good decisions.
Doing something on Javon Williams. Has he been what you expected?
Yeah, Javon's done a great job. He really has. He's a great kid, number one. He really is. He's an outstanding kid. I enjoy having him in the room. Everybody in the program enjoys having him around. He's I've said this before, but you've gotten many emails. I mean, study table people. I mean, people just enjoy being around Javon. He usually comes in with a great attitude. His teammates love him. You know, he's learning. He's learning as a true freshman quarterback. You know, he's got a skill set that we got to continue to develop and find the right way to use him. He's a winner, and we know that, and he's got to keep developing as far as the mental part of the quarterback position. But he's got a bright future here for sure, and he can do a lot of things.
And he, you know, I watched him in practice. He can sling it. What have you worked the most on his passing game?
Yeah, he can. It's probably just knowing where to go with the ball. It's the mental part. His physical tools are definitely there. You know, there's a lot of things that you can clean up as far as some fundamental things, throwing the football. But I mean, as far as the overall talent and skill set, I mean, he's a big, strong kid. He can run, but he's, like you said, he's got a really strong arm. And he's pretty accurate, and those things will continue to develop.
You've got a lot of options to run, but you know, how do you get him more carries, I guess, or do you feel like that's important?
Yeah, I mean, it's week to week. You know, there's a lot of things go into that. You know, Matt does a lot of similar things. Javon's bigger, so yeah, there's just a lot of different things. You know, as far as continue to develop him. He can, you know, looking at lining him up at some different positions to just try to get the ball in his hands.
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.